Okay, let's start with this paper then. March 2022. सबसे पहले कुछ instructions देख लें. Just like we usually do. We have to make sure that we're showing all necessary working. ये stats के अंदर और भी ज़्यादा important होता है because a lot of times you can get your answers directly from the calculator. और आप अक्सर लोग क्या करते हैं वो directly answer लिख देते हैं. Working नहीं show करते पूरी, even though they know the working, they think के examiner will somehow understand कि उनको आता है, तो उसके marks नहीं मिलते. You have to show every step that you're doing. आपने clearly show करना होता है to get full credit. जो भी आप working कर रहे हो कि आपने at least 4 significant figures रखने हैं उसके, keep that in mind. Normal distribution के अंदर आपको याद है z जो है that should be to 3 decimal places, and any probabilities that you have in normal distribution, they should be to 4 decimal places, right? Normal distribution के अंदर आपने वो करना होता है. Okay, acha, let's start with this. Let's start with the first question. Okay, so we've got a fair red spinner that has edges numbered 1, 2, 2, 3. A fair blue spinner has edges numbered -3, -2, -1, -1. Each spinner is spun once, and the number on the edge on which each spinner lands is noted. The random variable x denotes the sum of the resulting two numbers. Okay, so we've got these two spinners. उनके numbers लिखे हुए हैं. जो आपके number आते हैं उनको हम basically sum करते हैं, right? Walaikum assalam, Muhammad. I was actually sent this by December. I can post that here later, the PDF of this, if you need that. Okay, let's begin with the first question. A fair red spinner has edges numbered 1, 2, 2, 3. A fair blue spinner has edges numbered -3, -2, -1, -1. Spinner, each spinner is spun once, and the number on the edge on which each spinner lands is noted. The random variable x denotes the sum of the resulting two numbers. अब जो result आता है वो basically इसका sum, ठीक है? इन दोनों numbers का sum. हम क्या करेंगे इसके लिए? सबसे पहले it's going to be easier if you just draw an addition table. आपके लिए probabilities calculate करना आसान हो जाएगा. So what we do is we draw an addition table. We make an addition table here that looks something like this: 1, 2, 2, 3, and vertically we have -3. -2, -1, and -1. ठीक है, हमने ये table बना लिया. In the table, what we do is we add these numbers that we've got on the edges. -1 or -3 को add किया, we get 2 here. 1 - 2 is -1. Sorry, this should have been -2. 1 - 3 is -2. Then -1. 1 - 1 is 0, 0. 2 - 3 is -1. 2 - 3 here is -1. 3 - 3 is 0. 2 - 2, 0. 2 - 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, and 2. This is the table that we've got. अब हम simply क्या करेंगे? इन सब numbers को लिख लेंगे जो आपके पास आ रहे हैं, sum of the numbers, और उनकी probabilities लिख देंगे. We'll just draw a table like that. So we have x, the values of x, and their corresponding probabilities. What possible values do we have for x? -2 से start करके we can have -2, -1, and then we have 0 there, 1 and 2. These 5 numbers are possible. इन सब की probabilities corresponding हम यहाँ पे mention कर देंगे just by counting the number of times they are coming in this table. So -2 is coming only once. So that's the total values कितनी है यहाँ पे? 16 values in total. You can count them. So -2 is coming once, so that's 1 out of 16. -1 is coming 1, 2, 3, 3 times. That's 3 out of 16. 0 is coming 3 times again. That's 3 out of 16. 1 is coming 5 times. That's 5 out of 16. And 2 is coming twice. So that's going to be 2 out of 16. You can add all of them up, and they should add up to 1. And that will confirm that your answer is correct there. Okay, so that's your probability distribution table. That's the first thing that we had to do here. Okay. All right. Now it says, given that expected value of x equals 0.25, find the value of the variance of x. Variance find करनी है. आपको table given हो तो आप variance कैसे find कर सकते हो? We've got this formula here in the formula sheet. Remember, ये आपके पास ये formula होता है variance का. sigma x square p minus expected value of x का whole square. ये calculate कर लेंगे, ठीक है? I'm just going to write down the formula here again. Variance of x equals sigma x square p minus expected value of x का whole square. That's what we have to calculate. अब expected value of x आप खुद से निकाल सकते थे यहाँ पे, लेकिन उसने आपको already बता दिया. That's why it's only 2 marks, because आपको कुछ एक part उसने already बता दिया. You just have to calculate sigma x square p. ये calculate करना है. जिसके लिए क्या करेंगे, उसी table के अंदर आप एक row add कर लें. You can do that with the pencil because वो पहले part का answer है. But even if you just leave it like that, that's going to be okay. उसमें कोई मसला नहीं है. I'm adding x square p. That's another row in the table. X को square करना है और उसको probability से multiply कर देना. ठीक है? Minus 2 square is 4. 4 into 1 over 16. That's going to be 4 over 16. Minus 1 squared is 1. 1 into 3 over 16 is 3 over 16. 0 into whatever is going to be 0. 1 into 5 over 16 is 5 over 16. And then 2 squared is 4. 4 into 2 over 16, that is 8 over 16. ये आपके पास आ गया x square p. Now what we do is we add all of these numbers up. ठीक है, numbers को सबको add कर लें. Sigma x square p आ जाएगा. Let's see what that turns out to be. 4, 3, that's 7, 7 and 5, 12, 12 and 8 is 20. That's going to be 20 over 16. You can write that in decimals if you want. It should be 1.25. ये sigma x square p आ गया आपके पास. इसका नीचे लिखते हैं यहाँ पे, बस इसके अंदर input कर दें. 1.25 minus the expected value of x. What's the expected value? The expected value of x is 0.25, and we've got square of that. Let's evaluate this and see what it gives us. 1.25 minus 0.25 squared, and that is giving me 19 over 16. And you can write this in decimals if you want. Decimals आपके पास ये क्या आ जाएगा? This is giving me 1.1875. You can write all of that, and that's going to be okay. आप इसको round off करना चाहते हो आप कर भी सकते हो. That's the result. ठीक है, that's the variance. That's the first part, pretty straightforward. Let's look at the next one. Now it says in a certain country, the probability of more than 10 centimeters of rain on any particular day is 0.18, independently of the weather on any other day. That means for every single day, the probability of it raining more than 10 centimeters is the same, and that is 0.18. ठीक है, हर दिन ये आपकी probability है of raining more than 10 centimeters. We have to find the probability that in any randomly chosen 7-day period, so you're talking about 7 days, more than 2 days have more than 10 centimeters of rain. So सबसे पहले हमें देखना है what kind of distribution is this? Probability देखें constant रह रही है. Probability is constant, 0.18, that is not changing. So it could be either binomial or geometric. Binomial में क्या होता है? हम number of successes की बात कर रहे होते हैं. Geometric में क्या होता है? We are looking for the number of trials until the first success. यहाँ पे first success की बात नहीं हो रही. यहाँ पे हम देख रहे हैं number of successes, and how are we defining success? More than 10 centimeters of rain. That's our criteria for success. So success की probability क्या होगी? Success की probability क्या है? वो यहाँ पे उसने बताई हुई है, that is 0.18. We just write that 0.18. That's the probability of success. ठीक है? So this is binomial. We figured that out. Number of successes की बात हो रही थी. हम यहाँ पे side पर लिख लेते हैं, just so that we remember. This is binomial. Probability of success is 0.18. What about n? Number of times it's being repeated, the trial. It's a 7-day period. N की value यहाँ पे 7 है. These are the two parameters. Now, what are we looking for? Probability that we have more than 2 successes. More than 2 successes. क्या मतलब? Probability of x being greater than 2. ये figure out करना है. ठीक है? Now greater than 2 could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. या 5 probabilities calculate कर सकते हो if you want. Or you can do it the other way around. You can say this is the same thing as saying 1 minus probability of x less than or equal to 2. क्योंकि वहाँ पे आपको कम calculation करनी पड़ेगी. You can say 1 minus probability of x equals 0, minus probability of x equals 1, minus probability of x equals 2. 0, 1, 2 वाले cases 1 में से minus कर दें, and you'll get your result. Now, what's the formula that you've got for binomial distribution? You can write that down on the side. The formula sheet में दिया होता है. Probability of x equals r, that's NCR into p raised to power r into q raised to power n minus r. फॉर्मूला शीट में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट दिया होगा, उसने बस इस तरह लिखा होगा nr ncr नोटेशन और ये नोटेशन, दिस जस्ट डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ राइटिंग कॉम्बिनेशन. और फिर उसने लिखा होगा q की जगह पे उसने लिखा होता है 1 minus p raised to power r. That's the same thing, एक ही बात है. You have to use that formula in each of these cases. क्या करें आप, formula के अंदर values input कर दें. We've got 1 minus probability of x equals 0. That's going to be ncr. n की value क्या है 7. r की जगह पे यहाँ पे क्या आ रहा है 0. 7c0 into p raised to power r. p is 0.18 whole raised to power 0 into q. q यहाँ पे evaluate कर लेते हैं. 1 minus this, that's going to be 0.82. 0.82 raised to power 7 minus 0, it's going to be 7. Okay, minus 7c1 into 0.18 raised to power 1 into 0.82 raised to power 6. Remember, ये इन दोनों का सम हमेशा 7 आना चाहिए, ये भी 7 आना चाहिए, ये भी 7 आना चाहिए. जो भी आप कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हो, पावर्स का सम यहाँ पे 7 होगा, because that's the total number n. Subtract from that 7c2 into 0.18 raised to power 2 into 0.82 raised to power 5, and that's going to give you the result. ठीक है, अब इस तरह लिख के हम क्या करेंगे, एक स्टेप और शो करेंगे जिसमें ये इंडिविजुअल नंबर्स लिखेंगे. ठीक है, इसके बाद सीधा आंसर नहीं लिखना, इसको इंडिविजुअली इवैल्यूएट कर लें. उसका फायदा ये होएगा, in case you get something wrong in the final answer, you will lose only 1 mark. अगर आप सीधा आंसर लिख दोगे और वो गलत हो गया, तो you could end up losing more than 1 mark sometimes as well. अच्छा, let's write that down now. ये हम यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं. 1 minus 7c0 into 0.82 raised to power 7. That gives me 0.24929. Accuracy ज़्यादा रखनी है ताकि final answer accurate है. 7c1 into 0.18 into 0.82 raised to power 6, and that gives me 0.38305, and subtract from that 7c2 into 0.8 raised to power 2 into 0.18 raised to power 2 into 0.82 raised to power 5, and that gives me 0.25225. Evaluate this now, you get your result. 1 minus 0.24929 minus 0.38305 minus 0.25225, and that gives me 0.1154, which when we round it off, it becomes 0.115. You can leave it like this, and that's also going to be fine. आप ज़्यादा accurate कर सकते हो, and that's going to be okay. All right, so that's the result. Let's move on. Now it says for 3 randomly chosen 7-day periods, find the probability that exactly 2 of these periods have at least 1 day with more than 10 centimeters of rain. Now that statement sounds a bit confusing. Let's read that again. So take a few seconds and try to read that. For 3 randomly chosen 7-day periods. So now we've got 3 7-day periods. So basically 3 weeks आपने choose किया. उसमें से we have to find the probability that exactly 2 of these weeks have at least 1 day with more than 10 centimeters of rain. So this is basically a binomial inside a binomial. एक binomial के अंदर एक दूसरा binomial है. Okay? Now what's the outer binomial? एक binomial हमारा weeks की बात कर रहा है. Number of weeks कितने हैं? So we've got the outer binomial, यहाँ पे left पे लिखा होगा. इसमें क्या है? n is 3. n की वैल्यू 3 है, और इसमें आपने क्या करना है, probability find करनी है that exactly 2 of these periods have at least 1 day. So आपने 3 में से 2 की probability निकालनी है. लेकिन मसला क्या है, इसमें probability of success हमें नहीं पता. Probability of success इसके अंदर क्या होगी, we don't know. Success कैसे define किया उसने? Success इसने define की है at least 1 day with more than 10 centimeters of rain. So basically एक वीक के अंदर आपके पास एटलीस्ट 1 डे ऐसा हो जिसमें आपकी 10 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा रेनफॉल हुई है. वो आपका दूसरा बाइनोमियल है, जो बेसिकली वो पहले हम ऊपर देख रहे थे, वो वाला बाइनोमियल। उसके अंदर n की वैल्यू क्या थी? n was 7 एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस देयर, वहां पे सक्सेस क्या क्या किस तरह डिफाइन हुई थी? वहां पे सक्सेस वाज डिफाइंड as more than 10 centimeters of rain. तो बेसिकली एक हमारे पास वो अंदर वो ओरिजिनल बाइनोमियल है, उसमें 0.18 इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस थी and 0.82 was the probability of failure. उसमें हमें सबसे पहले फाइंड करना है what's the probability of having at least one success. At least one success. ये कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? Probability of x greater than or equal to 1. At least one का क्या मतलब होता है? Greater than or equal to 1. Okay. Now greater than equal to 1 में क्या क्या आ जाएगा? 1 से लेकर 7 तक सारी possibilities. तो वो काफी ज्यादा मुश्किल ज्यादा लंबी कैलकुलेशन हो जाएगी। हम क्या करेंगे? इसको कर देंगे 1 माइनस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ x इक्वल 0। x इक्वल 0 वाला केस रह गया सर, बस 1 में से माइनस कर दें and we'll get to result. Let's see what we get from this. 1 minus n is 7, 7c0 into 0.18 raised to power 0. ये सब कुछ तो 1 हो जाएगा. We are left with 0.82 raised to power 7. We have done this calculation above there. 7c0 वाला केस क्या था? It was coming out to be 0.24929. ये आप देख लें आपके पास क्या आता है? 1 minus 0.24929. This is giving me 0.75071. This is the probability of having at least one day with more than 10 centimeters of rain. ये आपने वो probability निकाली, ठीक है? अब ये जो है ये आपकी इस बाइनोमियल की प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस है। ये नंबर हम क्या करेंगे? ये जाके यहाँ पे लिख देंगे। दिस इज गोइंग टू बी 0.75071। अब ये आपका आउटर बाइनोमियल है जिसमें वीक्स की बात हो रही है, 7 डे पीरियड्स की बात हो रही है, इसमें 3 पीरियड्स हैं। दिस इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस। अगर ये प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस है, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ फेलियर भी हम वहां पे लिख सकते हैं। व्हाट इज दैट गोइंग टू बी? 1 minus this, which turns out to be 0.24929. That's the probability of failure. अब क्या करेंगे? इस पे बाइनोमियल लगा देंगे। यहाँ पे आप वीक्स की बात कर रहे हो, तो यहाँ पे इस बाइनोमियल में क्या कैलकुलेट करना है? Out of 3 weeks, we want the probability that we get exactly 2 successes. Exactly 2 successes. Probability of x equals 2 आपने यहाँ पे फाइंड करना है। यहाँ पे remember x डिफरेंट चीज रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है। यहाँ पे x नंबर ऑफ वीक्स की बात कर रहा है, इस वाले के अंदर x क्या बात कर रहा था? नंबर ऑफ डेज की। So these are 2 different x's. ये आप कैलकुलेट कर लें। n की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 3 है, into 3c2 into probability of success raised to power 2, 3.75071 raised to power 2 into 0.24929 raised to power 1. We evaluate this, and this is going to give us our result. 3 into 0.75071 plus square into 0.24929. And I'm getting 0.4215, or in fact 42147. If I round it off to 3 significant figures, which is not necessary, again, if you want, you can do that. You get 0.421. अगर आप round off करें भी, it's better to write the more exact number first, और उसके बाद आप round off करके लिख दें। तो उसका फायदा ये होगा, अगर आपसे गलती भी हो जाए कोई round off करते हुए, तो वो एग्जामिनर अक्सर क्या करता है? आपका ये वाला आंसर मार्क करके आपको फिर भी मार्क्स दे देता है। Okay? All right, so that's your final result here. This was binomial inside a binomial. This is the more complicated type of question that you can get in binomial. This is what you were supposed to do here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next we have, so at a summer camp, an arithmetic test is taken by 250 children. The times taken to the nearest minute to complete the test were recorded. The results are summarized in the table. Okay. So there are 250 children in total, and they're taking this arithmetic test. Times उनके आपने note किए हैं. You've got this table. We have to draw a histogram to represent this information. अच्छा, now first of all, if you notice, these class intervals are not connected. इनके दरम्यान में gaps आ रहे हैं. So पहली चीज आपको क्या करनी पड़ेगी? इन gaps को खत्म करना पड़ेगा. You'll have to adjust the intervals. Okay, let's adjust the intervals. अब देखें 30 और 31 का मिड पॉइंट क्या है? That's 30.5. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे जो actual class boundary है, that is 30.5. Then you've got 45.5 here, 65.5 here, 75.5 here, and we do the same thing on the ends. End पे हम क्या कर देंगे? 100.5 और start में हम कर देंगे 0.5. It's necessary to do this. ये class intervals adjust करना जरूरी है because histogram में gaps तो हो नहीं सकते हैं. You have to adjust the class boundaries like this. ठीक है, class boundaries adjust हो गई. अब histogram में आपको क्या represent करना होता है? You need frequency density on the vertical axis. Remember, ये जो vertical axis होगा आपके पास. Unfortunately, I can't use a ruler here. Actually, let me actually just try that on the side, and then bring that here. Okay, I'm just going to take that there. Okay, this works. Okay, this is my vertical axis. यहाँ पे you need to have frequency density. Frequency नहीं डाल सकते यहाँ पे. It has to be frequency density. And on the horizontal axis, you've got the variable. जो भी आपका variable आ रहा है वहाँ पे, वो आपका horizontal axis पे आएगा. You can draw that there. This is your horizontal axis. ठीक है. अच्छा, यहाँ पे क्या है? आपका time आ रहा है. You have to write that down. इसमें stats के अंदर labeling बहुत matter करती है. You've got to label this properly. This is time, and time is in minutes. Okay, that's what you got on the horizontal axis. अच्छा, अब क्या करना है? Frequency densities calculate करनी है. ठीक है? Okay, frequency density का formula क्या होता है? Frequency density is equal to frequency over the class width. Class width क्या होती है? Upper boundary minus the lower boundary. Upper boundary minus the lower boundary. तो हम यहाँ पे क्या करते हैं? If you want, you can write down the class widths somewhere as well. I don't have a lot of space here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the class widths here in the middle. First class की class boundary क्या बन रही है? 30.5 minus 0.5, that's going to be 30. Remember, 30 में से 1 नहीं minus करना. पहले जब आपने class adjust कर लिया, उसके बाद आपने minus करना. ठीक है? 45.5 minus 30.5, that's going to be 15. Next, we've got 20, and then we have 10, and then we have 25. These are the class widths. Class widths are gay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another row here that represents frequency density. Frequency density क्या होती है? Frequency divided by class width. 21 over 30. Let's evaluate that. That's going to be 0.7. 30 over 15 is 2. 68 over 20 is 3.4. 86 over 10 should be 8.6. 45 over 25, let's evaluate that. 45 divided by 25, that is 1.8. These are your frequency densities. You've got to plot these densities there. Now, you can see what's the highest number that you've got? 8.6. तो आपने scale उसके हिसाब से रखना है कि आप 8.6 तक जा सको. What you can do is you can say this is 2, and you've got 4, 6, 8, and 10. Horizontally, we are going from 0.5 to 100.5. ठीक है? 0.5 से लेकर 100.5 तक जा रहे हैं. What we can do for that is we can start our interval from here, 0.5 to 100.5. You need 100 in total. हम ये कर सकते हैं कि हम यहीं पे 0.5 ले लें. We could do that. Although it's preferred to leave some gap there, but it's okay. इसमें इसका मसला नहीं होता. Horizontal axis आप 0 के अलावा किसी और नंबर से start कर सकते हो. However, vertical axis आपने 0 से ही start करना है. ठीक है? Vertical axis आपने 0 से start करना है. So I'm going to start from 0.5 here. And then since I need to go until 100, I'm taking intervals like this: 20.5, 40.5, 60.5, 80.5, and 100.5. Now let's draw that histogram. Values plot कर दें. 0.5 से 30.5 तक पहला पॉइंट क्या आ गया? 0.7. 0.7 पे आपकी एक बार आएगी. 0.7 is going to be here. I'm just going to mark it here. इसके बाद मैं draw कर लूँगा बाद में. एक ये point आ गया. From 30.5 to 45.5, the frequency density is 2. So यहाँ पे 2 आ रहा होगा. बाद में मैं adjust करता. Basically 0.5 से लेकर 30.5 तक आपका first part है. And then 30.5 से लेकर 45.5 तक, that's going to be until this point. You've got this number. And then from 45.5 to 65.5, we've got 3.4. Okay, sorry about that. ये ऊपर क्या लिखा हुआ था? 30 वो गया. Okay, 45.5 यहाँ पे नहीं आता. 5.5 would have been here. यहाँ पे होना था 45.5. यहाँ तक हम ड्रॉ करेंगे उसको. अच्छा, उसके बाद हमारे पास क्या है? We have 3.4 frequency density for the next part. 3.4 is going to be right here. और ये कहाँ तक जा रही है? 65.5 तक. 65.5 is going to be right here. यहाँ तक एक बार आ जाएगा. And then we have 65 to 75.5. We've got 8.6. Next, हमारे पास 8.6 तक जाना है हमें. 8.6 is right here. And then we have 1.8 frequency density for the next part. 1.8 is going to be somewhere here. अच्छा, 65.5 से कहाँ तक जा रहे थे? 75.5 तक. That is going to be here. And then finally, we've got 100.5. That is here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a ruler, as in you are going to take a ruler. You're going to make these bars. मेरे पास यहाँ पे scale नहीं है, unfortunately, so I'm just going to draw it by hand. This is what your histogram is going to look like. ठीक है? Of course, your lines are going to be straighter than this, but this is what it's roughly going to be. Okay? ये आपका histogram बन गया. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next part. It says state which class interval contains the median. अच्छा, आपके पास ये table given है. आप देख लें median कहाँ पर आता है. What's the total number of values that we've got? We've got 250 values in total. 250 values. Median कहाँ पर होएगा? Median बिल्कुल center में होएगा. 250 over 2. That's going to be 125th value. 125th value आप देख लें किधर आती है? कौन से interval में आती है? We're starting from 21 and then 30. 21 plus 30 is 51. यहाँ तक 51 हो गया. 51 plus 68. What's that? 51 plus 68. That is 119. यहाँ तक 119 हुए अभी तक. तो 119 के बाद आपके पास 86 और values है. यहाँ पर आके 205 हो जाएंगे. So basically 125th value किधर आएगी? It's going to be in this interval. इस वाले interval के अंदर होगी. In this interval. इस interval में आपकी value आ रही होगी. आप यहाँ पे लिख दोगे. Median is in this interval 66 till 75. This is the interval that contains the median. Okay, this is the interval that contains the median, 66 to 75. Okay, you should not write your own interval. आपने अपना वाला interval नहीं लिखना. 65.5 to 75.5. Write the interval that's given in the table. Right, वो वाली values use करनी है आपने, and that's going to give you the result. All right, 66 to 75. That's the median interval. Okay. Now it says, given that an estimate of the mean is 61.05, okay, so mean time is this. State what feature of the distribution accounts for the median and the mean being different. Okay, median जो है वो इस class में आ रहा है 66 और 75 के दरम्यान में. Mean is lower than that. Mean is lower than that. अगर आप distribution देखें तो आप कह सकते हैं it's sort of a skewed distribution. कि राइट साइड पे इस रीजन में के अंदर वैल्यू ज्यादा आ रही है एज कंपेयर टू वैल्यूज ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड. राइट साइड पे फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा है, लेफ्ट साइड पे फ्रीक्वेंसी कम है. So it's a skewed distribution, or in other words, you can say the distribution is not symmetrical. So basically, symmetrical distribution होती है ना, like you have a normal distribution. Normal distribution is symmetrical. तो normal distribution में mean भी बिल्कुल center में होता है और median भी बिल्कुल center में होता है. Mean और median दोनों यहाँ पे center में होते हैं normal distribution के अंदर. But if it's a skewed distribution like this, ये symmetrical नहीं है, ये आपकी एक तरह से इस तरह से बन रही है तकरीबन, right? This is not symmetrical. यहाँ पे mean और median same नहीं होते हैं. तो हम यहाँ पे क्या कहेंगे? You could either say the distribution is not symmetrical. Distribution is not symmetrical. That's one way to explain this. Or you can say, या तो ये लिख सकते हैं या फिर आप लिख सकते हैं the distribution is skewed. ठीक है? So you could write either of the two. That's the reason why the mean and median are coming out to be different here. Let's move on to the next one. The weights of male leopards in a particular region are normally distributed with mean 55 kilograms and standard deviation 6 kilograms. Find the probability that a randomly chosen male leopard from this region weighs between 46 and 62 kilograms. अच्छा, अब इसने बता दिया आपको ये कौन सी distribution है? It's normal distribution. You're given the mean of that distribution. Let's write that down. So we have normal distribution, first of all. Mu of that distribution, the mean of that distribution is 55. And the standard deviation is 6. Okay? We have to find the probability that a randomly chosen leopard has a weight between 46 and 62 kilograms. So if you are representing weights by this letter X, we are looking for the probability that X is between 46 and 62. इनके दरमियान में होने की probability निकालिए. ठीक है? Now let's think about this. सबसे पहले काम क्या करते हैं? इसको Z में convert कर लेते हैं. Z और X में relationship क्या होता था? Z equals X minus mu over sigma. Let's use that formula here. X की जगह पे Z कर लें. It's going to be Z between 46 minus mu. What's the mu here? Mu is 55. 46 minus 55 divided by 6, the standard deviation. 62 minus 55 on the other side divided by 6. ये हमने उसको Z में convert कर लिया सबसे पहले. We'll get some values from this. Minus 9 divided by 6, that's going to be minus 1.5. You can say minus 1.50 if you want, or you can just write minus 1.5 because this is exact. इसके आगे decimals तो नहीं आ रहे. And then on the other side, you've got 7 over 6, which is 1.1666667. What do you write here? Remember, Z हमने क्या कहा था? हम कितने decimal places से रखा करेंगे? If it's not exact, we have to write it to 3 decimal places. So इसको round off करके क्या लिखेंगे? It's going to be 167. This is what we're getting. These are the values of Z that we're getting. Okay. Now, if you were to think about the graph for this, graph इसका कैसा आएगा? No, it's distribution का. Let's draw the graph of this standard normal distribution. It's going to look like this, something like this. In the middle, for the Z distribution, we have 0 as usual. What values of Z do we have here now? एक value negative है, that's minus 1.5. एक value positive है, which is 1.167. We are looking for the region, for the area that's between these 2 points. ये दरम्यान वाला region हमें चाहिए होता है. दरम्यान वाला region हमें चाहिए. ये figure out करना. ठीक है? Now, what do we do for this? Table में तो हमें सिर्फ क्या दिया होता है? किसी positive value के left side वाला area. ठीक है? तो हम इसको क्या करेंगे? We can break it down into 2 parts. We can say this area is basically area towards the left of 1.167. उसमें से minus कर दें area towards the left of minus 1.5. वो आपके पास ये yellow region आ जाएगा. That's the first thing. ठीक है? So how do we start? We say this area is the same as saying probability of z less than 1.167, that's basically going to be all of this region. ये पूरा रीजन आ गया, लेफ्ट वाला भी इंक्लूड हो गया. अब इसमें से माइनस कर दें कौन सा पार्ट, ये वाला पार्ट, तो आपके पास शेडेड पार्ट रह जाएगा. तो वो पार्ट कौन सा है? दैट्स द रीजन दैट्स टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट ऑफ -1.5. ठीक है, that's the first thing that we do. Okay, now how do we do this calculation now? Probability of z less than 1.167, this is the standard form already. Standard form क्या होती थी जो टेबल से हमें मिलती है? z less than something positive. We've got that form here. ये तो टेबल से हमें डायरेक्टली मिल जाएगा, ये हम टेबल से जाके वैल्यू देख लेंगे. This is phi of 1.167. टेबल में जो z की वैल्यू 1.167 होगी, जहां पे वहां पे probability देख लेंगे. That's straightforward. What about this now? z less than -1.5. z less than -1.5. Now think about this. ये कौन सा रीजन है? अगर इसका हम रफली ग्राफ देखें, ये रीजन बेसिकली कौन सा बन रहा है? This is the region towards the left side of the mean. ये -1.5 है. हमें ये वाला एरिया चाहिए जो इधर आ रहा है, बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा. This region basically. Okay. अब this region, you're not going to get this region directly from the table because table आपको किसी पॉजिटिव वैल्यू के लेफ्ट साइड वाला रीजन बताता है. ये तो आपको नहीं मिलेगा वहां से. तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको इसको सबसे पहले फ्लिप करना पड़ेगा. You'll say this area is the same thing as saying this region on the right side. ये भी तो वही एरिया है 1.5 के राइट साइड वाला. अब ये भी नहीं आप टेबल से निकाल सकते, टेबल आपको इसके लेफ्ट वाला एरिया देगा. तो उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे? इसके लेफ्ट वाले एरिया निकालोगे, 1 में से उसको माइनस कर दोगे, एंड वी गेट दैट. ठीक है. सो वी कैन बेसिकली कन्वर्ट इट टू, जो हमने ऊपर लिखा है उसको हम कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं किसके अंदर? लेट मी डू दैट ऑन द साइड. यहाँ पे साइड पे ओके, इसको मैं पूरा साइड पे ले जाता हूँ. हम कैलकुलेट क्या करना चाह रहे थे? वी वर कैलकुलेटिंग z less than -1.5. we said सबसे पहले that's the same thing as saying z greater than 1.5, ये वाला रीजन. लेकिन ये डायरेक्टली नहीं आ सकता. हमने क्या किया? हमने 1 में से माइनस कर दिया इसके लेफ्ट साइड वाला रीजन. सो 1 माइनस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ z लेस देन 1.5. ठीक है. तो जो ऊपर हमने लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे, इसको हम लिख सकते हैं 1 माइनस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ z लेस देन 1.5. Now this is the value that we can find from the table. ये टेबल से फाइंड कर लेंगे, यहाँ पर जाके इनपुट कर देंगे. So we basically need two values from the table now. एक 1.167 पे वैल्यू चाहिए और दूसरी आपको ये वैल्यू चाहिए 1.5 के ऊपर, वो जाके यहाँ पे इनपुट कर देंगे. ठीक है. Let's look for these values 1.167 and 1.5. Remember that. Okay, let's go to the formula sheet. Okay, we need 1.167. That's one value that we need here, and we need 1.5. Okay, 1.167 देखने पहले. 1.1 is here. Second decimal place is 6. So we basically have this number here. That's 0.8770. ये यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं 0.8770. And then the third decimal place is 7. So we need the 7 here. ये आगे चले जाए लाइन के अंदर. What do we get here? We get 14 here. तो last two digits के अंदर 1 4 add कर देना है. यहाँ पे 1 4 add कर दिया. What do we get from that? We get 8784. ये आपके पास आ गया 0.8784. Okay. Now let's look for the other value 1.5. 1.5 is here. उसके बाद तो कोई decimal place नहीं है. Third decimal places are 0. Second, third both are 0. So basically आपके पास ये number आ गया directly 0 के साथ. 0.9332. Write that here. 0.9332. These are the two values that we need. वहाँ पे जाके लिख देते हैं. 0.8784 and 9332. This is what we have now. इसको calculate कर लें, देखना आपके पास क्या आता है. This gives me 0.8784 plus 0.9332 minus 1. That is 0.8116. That's the probability that we were looking for. ठीक है, ये आपके पास probability आ गई. All right, makes sense to everyone? Any problems with this? Okay, good. 0.8116, ये हमारे पास इसकी value आ गई. Let's move on to the next one. Now we've got the weights of female leopards in this region that are normally distributed with mean 42 kilograms. So we were talking about male leopards earlier. Now we've got female leopards. They have mean 42 kilograms and standard deviation sigma kilograms. Okay, so we've got another normal distribution now. This distribution में mean क्या है? Mean is 42 and sigma is the standard deviation. It's known that 25% of the female leopards weigh less than 36 kilograms. ठीक है? Yes, we can do that. We can do that. Okay. Acha. So mu equals 42 and sigma, standard deviation is sigma. Now we are given that 25% of female leopards in the region weigh less than 36 kilograms. Now probability दी हुई है. क्या probability दी हुई है? Probability that X is less than 36. That is 0.25. Okay. Probability of X being less than 36 is 0.25. अब हम क्या करेंगे? Probability given है, वापस आपको डेटा में से कोई चीज है. This is inverse normal. आपका probability से वापस z की वैल्यू पे जाना है. सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं? इसको z में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. We say this is z less than something. We don't know what that is. That equals 0.25. And the first thing we've got to figure out here is whether z is positive or negative. Right? Inverse normal सबसे पहले काम क्या करना होता है? Z को figure out करना negative या positive. Let's draw a rough diagram for that quickly. Left side पे देखें area कितना है? Area towards the left side, that is 0.25. Left side पे area 0.5 से कम है. So Z को कहाँ पे place करना पड़ेगा हमें? Right side पे place करेंगे तो उसके तो left पे area ज़्यादा हो जाएगा 0.5 से. तो Z जो है इस normal distribution curve के अंदर left पे आ रहा होगा. ठीक है? That's going to come on the left side here. यहाँ पे place करना पड़ेगा. So Z is basically negative. That's the first thing you figure out. Z की value आपके पास negative आएगी end के ऊपर. अब table तो आपको ये value नहीं देता directly. Table तो आपको ये value नहीं देता. Left side वाला region और भी negative value के. तो हम क्या करेंगे? इसको सबसे पहले flip कर लेंगे. इसको हम flip कर लेते हैं. हम कहते हैं जो Z की positive value होगी यहाँ पे, मतलब Z का अगर आप positive कर दें, उसके right side पे भी आपका उतना ही area होगा. ये area भी उतना ही है. ये area भी कितना है? 0.25. ये area भी 0.25 होना चाहिए. If this area is 0.25, what about the area towards the left of this? इसके left वाला area कितना हो जाएगा? ये वाला region. That's going to be 0.75. इस line के left वाला region, Z plus वाले point के left पे region कितना आएगा? It's going to be 0.75. अब हम जाके क्या करेंगे? ये आपके पास standard form आ गई. We were saying probability of Z less than the positive value of Z, that is equal to 0.75. ये अब जाके टेबल से देखें. Probability 0.75 के ऊपर Z की वैल्यू क्या आती है आपके पास? Let's go to the table. अब हमें probability देखनी है. Remember, 0.75 is the probability. 0.75 हमें कहाँ पे मिलता है इधर? 0.75 is going to be between these two numbers. हम छोटा वाला number ले लेंगे. यहाँ पे मैं क्या मिल रहा है 0.6 and here the second decimal is 7. Probability was 0.75. इससे z क्या मिला हमें 0.6 and 7, the first two decimal places. अब इसमें कितना ऐड करना पड़ेगा 86 के अंदर to get 75 exact? We'll have to add 14 to it. अब right side पे जाके देखें 14 किधर आ रहा है. We don't have 14, but we have 13 there and 16. तो जो closer है उनमें 14 के ज्यादा close कौन सा है 13, तो हम 13 यहाँ से pick कर लेंगे. We go there, the fourth decimal place, the third decimal place is supposed to be 4, got 0.674. ये आपके पास z की वैल्यू आ गई 0.674. ये क्योंकि एक कॉमन प्रोबेबिलिटी है, इफ यू नोटिस ये उसने आपको ना नीचे अलग से भी दी होती है. प्रोबेबिलिटी जब 0.75 है उसके उसके उसकी z की वैल्यू कितनी आ रही है 0.674. You could just pick it up from directly from here as well, 0.674 if you wanted. ये कुछ प्रोबेबिलिटीज की देखें, आपको डायरेक्ट z की वैल्यूज दी हुई हैं. अगर इनमें से कुछ हो आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, डायरेक्टली यहाँ से वैल्यू पिक कर सकते हैं. अच्छा 0.674 आ गया था. लेट्स गो बैक देयर. z की पॉजिटिव साइड पे वैल्यू क्या आ रही है 0.674. यहाँ पे ये वाला जो वैल्यू है दिस इज 0.674, बट असल में z क्या था हमने सबसे पहले इसीलिए लिखा था z नेगेटिव है असल में. तो हम क्या लिखेंगे z की वैल्यू क्या आ गई हमारे पास, z की वैल्यू आ गई -0.674. अब इस वैल्यू को फॉर्मूला के अंदर इनपुट कर देंगे. What's the formula that you got? You got z equals x minus mu over sigma. Z is minus 0.674. X यहाँ पे क्या था? X was 36. Minus the mean. Mean was 42. Divided by sigma. And that's going to give you the value of standard deviation. ये evaluate कर लें. 6 divided by 0.674. This gives me 8.902. That's our standard deviation. This is the value of sigma. That's what we were looking for. Okay. All right, let's move on. Now it says the distributions of the weights of male and female leopards are independent of each other. यानी कि एक ही probability दूसरे की probability को affect नहीं करती है. Okay, that's what it means. That's what independence means. A male leopard and a female leopard are each chosen at random. Okay, एक male leopard choose किया, एक female leopard choose किया. Find the probability that both the weights of these leopards are less than 46 kilograms. अच्छा, सबसे पहले क्या find करना पड़ेगा, हमें दोनों की probability find करनी पड़ेगी individually कि 46 किलोग्राम से less weight की क्या probability. ठीक है, let's do it for males and females, both of them. Males की भी normal distribution थी, remember इसका mean क्या था? इसका mean हमारे पास था 55. Standard deviation was 6. For females, we had mean 42. And standard deviation we just calculated, that turned out to be 8.902. ये दोनों normal distributions हैं. Sorry, ये sigma लिखना था यहाँ पे. Sigma was 6 here. Yeah. अच्छा. अब दोनों की probability find करनी है. Probability that their weight is less than 46 and probability that their weight is less than 46 here as well. क्या करेंगे सबसे पहले इसको z में convert करेंगे. Probability of z less than 46. Oh, sorry, less than 46 minus the mean, that's 55, divided by sigma, that's 6. That's probability of z less than minus 1.5. Now, if you remember, ये तो हमने first part में calculate किया था कहीं पे. If I remember correctly, z less than minus 1.5 for the male leopards. Yeah, we calculated that here. Z less than minus 1.5. What was that? That was basically this number here. 1 minus 0.9332. इसको तो वहीं से उठा लें. 1 minus 0.9332. Let's see what that turns out to be. 0.0668. That's the probability for of the weight being less than 46 for the male leopards. What about the female leopards? इसमें probability कैसे आएगी? Again, z में convert कर लें. Z less than 46 minus 42 divided by 8.902. What does that give us? Z less than 4 divided by 8.902. And this is 0.449. आगे 333 आ रहा है, but we only need 3 decimal places for z. यहाँ पे जाके रुक जाए. Now we calculate, we find this value from the table. Again, ये standard form आ रही है आपके पास ये तो directly. इसमें कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपके पास table वाली form है, z less than something positive. You can find this value directly from the table. Phi of 0.449. Let's go to the table and see इस probability क्या आ रही है हमारे पास. 0.449 के ऊपर. Phi of 0.449. Let's figure that out. 0.4 is here, and then 4 is here. We've got this number from these two values. And then we've got 9. This is 9. We go all the way there. And we get 32 from there. So 0.6700. With 32 आपने add करना, that gives you 0.6732. That's the probability. ठीक है, ये जाके लिख लें वहाँ पे 0.6732. You've got the probabilities of both of them कि male leopard के less than 46 की weight less than 46 होने की क्या probability है और female leopard का weight less than 46 होने की क्या probability है. We found both of those things. Now what's the probability कि हम randomly एक male leopard choose करें, एक female leopard choose करें. What's the probability that both their weights are less than 46 kilograms? So basically दोनों का intersection find करना है. And since they are independent में क्या होता है, हम simply उनको multiply कर देते हैं इन probabilities को कि probability that both of these conditions are met, probability of weight of males being less than 46 and the weight of females being less than 46. क्योंकि दोनों independent हैं, हम simply क्या करेंगे, इनकी probabilities को multiply कर देंगे. 0.0668 multiplied by 0.6732, and that's going to give us the result. 0.0668 into 0.6732. That gives me 0.04497, or you could say this is 0.0450. ठीक है, दोनों तरह से लिख सकते हैं. If you want to round it off, you can write it like this, or you can just leave it like this as well. That's your final result. Okay. So that's question number 4, part C of that. We're done with this. Let's move on to question number 5. Now we've got permutations and combinations. Let's look at this. A group of 12 people consists of 3 boys, 4 girls, and 5 adults. In how many ways can a team of 5 people be chosen from the group if exactly 1 adult is included? Acha. What do we want? We want to choose a team of 5 people. And exactly 1 adult needs to be included in those 5 people. Ek adult hona chahiye, sir. That means the rest are either boys or girls. So kya karenge? 1 adult, that means 5 mein se aapko 1 choose karna hai. And then the other 4 could be any of the other people, boys or girls mein se kuch bhi ho sakta hai, koi bhi ho sakta hai. 7 है आपके पास boys and girls in total. उन 7 में से आप कितने choose करने हैं? 4 choose करने हैं. That's 7C4, and that's going to give you the result. Evaluate कर लें. या देख लें क्या आता है. 5 into 7C4, that gives me 175. That's the first part. Let's move on to the next one. Now it says, in how many ways can a team of 5 people be chosen from the group? Again, we have a team of 5 people. If the team includes at least 2 boys and at least 1 girl. Okay. So you want at least 2 boys and at least 1 girl. अब इसमें क्या करना पड़ता है? आपको cases बनाने पड़ेंगे, देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या-क्या possibilities हो सकती हैं. You've got 3 categories of people. You've got boys. There are 3 in total. Then you've got girls who are 4 in total. You've got some adults who are 5 in total. Okay, these are the 3 categories of people that we've got. Now let's see हमारे पास क्या-क्या possibilities हो सकते हैं. We want at least 2 boys, at least 1 girl. So let's say there are 2 and 1. Then how many adults do we have? We can have 2 adults. अच्छा. Let's keep the boys at 2. Girls कितनी हो सकती हैं फिर? 2 हो सकते हैं. And then you have 1 adult. You have 2, 3, and then 0 adult. Because adults की तो कोई condition नहीं है. You can have this as well. अच्छा. So ये 2 के साथ cases हो गए सारे 2 boys के साथ. If you have 3 boys, we can have 1 girl and 0 adults. If we have 3 boys, we can have 2 girls. Sorry, 3 boys के साथ 1 girl and 1 adult. And if we have 3 boys and 2 girls, then we have 0 adult. These are the cases that we have. इन तीनों के आप find कर लें और उनको add कर लें. Possibilities. First case क्या होएगा? That's going to be 3C2. Again, you have to write this down. You have to पूरा लिखना है यहाँ पे. Otherwise, you'll not get marks. 3C2 into 4C1 into 5C2. And then you've got 3C2 into 4C2 into 5C1. 3C2 into 4C3 into 5C0. 3C3 into 4C1 into 5C1. 3C3 into 4C2 into 5C0. When you're calculating this, it might help to remember that NC1 is just N. ऊपर वाला number N हो, नीचे वाला number 1 है, तो ये आपके पास N value होती है इसकी. ठीक है, जो भी ऊपर वाला number होता है वो आ जाता है. Similarly, if you've got NC0, उसकी value 1 होती है. और अगर पास NCN आ रहा हो, उसकी value भी 1 होती है. ठीक है, मतलब same number आ रहे हो ऊपर नीचे, वो 1 होता है. नीचे 0 आ जाए, वो भी 1 होता है. NC1 अगर हो, मतलब कोई भी number और नीचे 1 हो, वो ये ऊपर वाला जो number होता है वो आ जाता है. So when you're evaluating this on your calculator, it might reduce the number of digits you got to input, number of values that you got to input. अगर आपको ये पता हो ये चीजें तो. अच्छा, let's evaluate each of them now and then add them. Again, it's going to be helpful to have them here individually ताकि आपको partial marks, अगर आपका कुछ गलत हो जाए, आपको partial marks उसके मिल जाए सही तरह से. अच्छा, 3 into 4 into 5C2, that's giving me 120. Then the second 3 into 4C2 is 6 into 5, that's 90. 3 into 4 into 1, that is 12. And then I have 1 into 4 into 5, that's 20. 1 into 6 into 1, that is 6. ये मेरे पास सारे cases आ गए. I can just add all of them up. That's going to give me the total result, the final result. इनको add कर लें. 120 plus 90 plus 12 plus 20 plus 6, that is 248. And that's your final result here. ठीक है, 248 हमारे पास आ गया. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Achha. Now the same group of people, same group of 12 people stand in a line. How many different arrangements are there? Now we're talking about arrangements, so this is going to be permutations. How many different arrangements are there in which the 3 boys stand together and an adult is at the end, at each end of the line? Okay. 2 adults ends के ऊपर हैं और दरम्यान में आपने boys को together रखना है. ठीक है? अच्छा. Now let me just write down. There were 3 boys and there were 4 girls and 5 adults. Okay. Adults need to be on the ends. तो हम यहाँ पे क्या करते हैं? I'm going to draw some boxes here. Let's try to use this representation. इससे आसान हो जाता है थोड़ा सा समझना situation को. So what we want is we want one adult on one end. Let's call this A1 and one adult on the other end. ये तो आपके fix हो गए. ठीक है? अच्छा. What are we left in the middle? We have 3 adults, 3 boys and 4 girls in the middle now. But unme we want the boys to be together. We want the boys to be together. हम क्या करेंगे? असल बाकी हमारे पास boxes कितने रहने चाहिए थे इस point के ऊपर? We would have had 10 boxes in the middle. क्योंकि 2 sides पे आके दरम्यान में 10 रह जाने चाहिए थे. But since boys have to be together, हम boys का एक box बना देंगे. Sides को तो change नहीं कर सकते. I'm going to just represent them in a different color. In the middle, what I have is I've got one big box जिसके अंदर मेरे पास आ रहे हैं 3 boys. And then I've got the remaining 7 people in their individual boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. ये आपके पास total boxes अंदर कितने हो गए? There are 8 boxes in the middle now, जो change हो सकते हैं, जो basically move कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? Now let's think about this. हर चीज के कितने ways हो गए हमारे पास अब? एक तो जो ends पे adults आ रहे हैं. We've got adults at the ends. एक adult यहाँ पे आ रहा है. You can just color them as well. This is one adult and this is another adult. We've got 5 adults in total. How many options do we have for this box? We've got 5 boxes, right? पहले box में input कर रहे हैं, place कर रहे हैं. We've got 5 options, 5 ways of placing one adult here. जब एक adult को यहाँ पे place कर दिया, how many options do we have for this box? How many adults are we left with? We're left with 4 adults. So we have 5 into 4. ये आपने 2 adults को ends पे place कर दिया. ठीक है? अच्छा. Now for the remaining people that are in the middle, there are 10 people in the middle in these places. उनमें से boys have to be together. जब वो together हो गए, आपके पास boxes कितने रह गए अब? There are 8 boxes in total. वहां से कितनी आपकी arrangements आ गई? ये आपकी आ गई 8 factorial. जो अंदर वाले boxes हैं, there are 8 boxes in total, right? 8 boxes को आप 8 factorial ways में arrange कर सकते हो. But then you have these boys as well. You've got these 3 boys here. In boys की arrangements कितनी होंगी? 3 factorial. So you've got 3 factorial for that. And that's going to be a result. Right? Just a one-liner, but you've got to think about it a bit. Adults की कितनी arrangements होगी? 5 into 4. दरम्यान में आपके पास 10 boxes रह गए. उसमें से आपके क्योंकि boys together हैं, they end up giving us 8 boxes. And then जब हम boys को arrange करते हैं, 3 factorial वहां से आ गया, 8 factorial यहाँ से boxes को arrange करने से आ गया, and that's going to give us the final result. 5 into 4, that's 20 into 8 factorial into 3 factorial, and that is 4838 400. This is going to be our final result here. ठीक है? Okay, let's move on. Now we've got a factory that produces chocolates in 3 flavors, lemon, orange, and strawberry, in the ratio 3:5:7. So we have some lemon chocolates, orange chocolate, and strawberry chocolates. Nell checks the chocolates on production line by choosing chocolates randomly one at a time. Okay. Find the probability that the first chocolate with lemon flavor that Nell chooses is the 7th chocolate that she checks. Now, does that statement give you a hint? First chocolate with lemon flavor. So basically, first success की बात हो रही है कि वो कब आती है. फर्स्ट सक्सेस की बात करें, फर्स्ट सक्सेस कब आती है? दैट्स ऑन द 7th attempt. 7th attempt के ऊपर आपको फर्स्ट सक्सेस मिल रही है. The first 6 are going to be failures. So it looks like a geometric distribution. But what about the probabilities? This is the ratio, 3:5:7. Now, when you're thinking about probabilities, remember, it's a production line जिसके ऊपर बहुत सारी chocolates हैं. So you can basically consider, you can think of these chocolates as a very large number. So अगर आप एक chocolate निकालते भी हैं, it doesn't really have a lot of impact. It has negligible impact on the overall probability of getting another chocolate of the same kind. For example, एक lemon chocolate आप निकाल लेते हैं, तो lemon chocolates की probability पे कोई खास फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, because think of it like this, there are thousands of chocolates. एक chocolate निकालने से ये probability जो है, ratio जो है, वो खास change नहीं हो जाएगी. So probability basically stays constant, क्योंकि आपका number जो है वो बहुत बड़ा है. Number of total chocolates, that's not given. सिर्फ ratio पता है आपको. The total number of chocolates is large, that's huge. So एक chocolate निकालने से ये वो without replacement वाला case नहीं बन जाएगा. Although it's without replacement, लेकिन probability आपकी change नहीं होगी. क्यों? क्योंकि आपका जो impact होगा एक chocolate निकालने से, that's going to be negligible. Okay, so basically आपकी probability of lemon, अगर आप यहाँ पे लिखें, that is constant, which is 3 out of 3 plus 5 plus 7, that's 15. Lemon की probability आपके पास 1/5 है. ठीक है, lemon की probability आपके पास 1/5 ही आ रही है यहाँ पे. That is not going to change. अच्छा, so what kind of distribution do we have here? It's a geometric distribution. It's a geometric distribution, और geometric distribution के अंदर probability of success आपके पास क्या आ गई? 1/5. Failure क्या हो जाएगा? That's going to be 4/5. Now, what do we want now? We want first success on the 7th attempt. So essentially हमें क्या चाहिए? We want probability of x equals 7. Geometric distribution का formula क्या होता था? X equals r, that's q raised to power r minus 1 times p, which means first 6 times आपका failure होएगा, और फिर 7th attempt में आपकी success हो जाएगी. So you have 4/5 raised to power q raised to power r minus 1, 7 minus 1, and then 1/5 raised to power 1, or you can say just say 1/5. So ये आपके पास probability आ जाएगी. What is happening here? 6 times failures हो गए first, और उसके बाद 7th attempt में you've got a success, right? ये आप evaluate कर लेंगे, and that's going to give you the probability. Now let me try this. 4 raised to power 4, no 6, divided by 5 raised to power 7. Okay, so I'm getting 0.05243. तो इसको राउंड ऑफ करके अगर आप लिखना चाहें, आप लिख सकते हैं 0.0524. Okay, so that's what we get. That's the probability. Acha, let's look at the next part. Find the probability that the first chocolate with lemon flavor that Nell chooses is after she has checked at least 6 chocolates. After she has checked at least 6 chocolates, उसके बाद जाके उसको first lemon flavor वाली chocolate मिलती है. ठीक है? So it says after she has checked at least 6 chocolates, उसके बाद उसको first lemon मिलेगी. इसका मतलब क्या है? कि first 6 times तो उसको lemon flavor नहीं मिला. First 6 times lemon flavor नहीं मिला. So it's just going to be probability of failure, which is 4/5 raised to power 6. And that's going to give you the result. Okay, so it says after she has checked at least 6 chocolates, at least 6 chocolates check करने के बाद, यानी 7th attempt onward, उसको first success मिलेगी. Remember हमारे पास geometric distribution का formula भी होता था, x greater than r, that is q raised to power r. So basically यहाँ पे इसका at least 6 का मतलब ये है So क्योंकि उसने कहा after checking at least 6 chocolates, इसका मतलब ये है कि first 6 तो failures थे, है, उसके बाद जाके कहीं मिल रहा है. So probability of x greater than 6 यहाँ पे evaluate करेंगे. That's going to be q raised to power 6, and that's what we do here. 4 raised to power 6 divided by 5 raised to power 6, that gives me 0.262. ठीक है. नॉर्मली जब एटलीस्ट 6 लिखा होता है उसका मतलब यही होता है ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू 6, है ना. बट यहाँ पे देखें, दिस आफ्टर बेसिकली चेंजेस द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट and we get greater than 6 there instead of greater than or equal to. Okay, ये हमारे पास probability आ गई 0.262 here. अच्छा, now we've got some surprise boxes of chocolates that each contain 15 chocolates. अच्छा, now the number of chocolates is limited. We've got 15 chocolates in total. 3 are lemon, 5 are orange, 7 are strawberry. तो आप देखें, आप कोई एक चॉकलेट निकालेंगे तो आपके पास probability for the next chocolate change हो जाया करेगी. Keep that in mind. Petra has a box of surprise chocolates. She chooses 3 chocolates at random from the box. She eats each chocolate before choosing the next one. So she's not putting the chocolates back, of course. She's eating them. Find the probability that none of Petra's 3 chocolates has orange flavor. Okay. अच्छा, orange की probability क्या थी? First time, आपके पास 5 orange chocolates हैं out of 15. Orange के अलावा बाकी कितनी है? Non-orange कितनी है? They are 10 out of 15. Now, what do we want to calculate here? We want to calculate the probability that none of the 3 chocolates that she chooses have orange flavor. अच्छा, उसने first chocolate उठाई. What's the probability that's not orange flavored? That is 10 out of 15, right? 5 orange थी, 10 non-orange थी. The first chocolate के orange ना होने की probability, what's that? That's 10 over 15. अब एक chocolate तो निकाल ली उसने, एक non-orange chocolate निकाल ली. What's the probability that she does not get an orange chocolate on the second attempt as well? Total number change हो गया, that's 14. और non-orange chocolates भी change होगी, there are going to be 9 now, 9 over 14, and then using the same logic, we've got 8 over 13, and that's going to give us the result. ठीक है, ये evaluate कर ले. 10 into 9 into 8 divided by 15 and 14 and 13, that's 24 over 91. Or you can write that in decimals if you want. That is 0.2637, or if you were to round it off, 0.264. I would recommend आप एक दफा ज्यादा accurate number लिख दें, उसके बाद round off करें, ताकि अगर गलती होती भी है rounding off में, वो आपको उस पे most likely mark नहीं कटेगा, क्योंकि वो पहले वाले number पे mark दे देगा आपको. Okay, so that's what you get in this case. Let's move on. Now it says find the probability that each of Petra's 3 chocolates has a different color. Okay, now let me write that down here again. We had lemon flavor. We had orange flavor, and we had strawberry flavor. How many lemon chocolates do we have? We've got 3 of these, 5 of these, and 7 of these. Now she's taking 3 chocolates out. We want each of them to have a different flavor. Now, one possibility could be, okay, वो first lemon उठाती है, 3 out of 15. Second जो है वो orange उठा लेती है, that's 5 out of 14 now, because एक निकाल लिया, एक lemon निकाल ली हुई है. And then one strawberry, that is 7 out of 13. This is one possibility, that the first is lemon, and then the second is orange, and then the third is strawberry. But the order could change as well, right? Order change भी तो हो सकता है. You could have first lemon and then strawberry and then orange. That could be another possibility. वो क्या हो जाएगा? अगर हमारे पास वो होता first lemon and then strawberry and then orange, that would be 3 over 15, and then strawberry, which is 7 over 14, and then 5 over 13. If you think about this, these probabilities are actually exactly the same. Denominators भी तीनों equal हैं, है ना? और न्यूमरेटर्स भी तीनों सेम ही है, बस ऑर्डर चेंज हो गया 3, 7 and 5, राइट? सिर्फ ऑर्डर चेंज हो गया और तो कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ। तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम फिगर आउट कर सकते हैं कि ये आपके पास नंबर ऑफ अरेंजमेंट्स कितनी बनती हैं, इसकी नंबर ऑफ अरेंजमेंट्स इसकी कितनी बन सकती है। LOS, lemon, orange, and then strawberry. How many ways can we arrange this thing? We can arrange this in 3 factorial ways. So basically, ये जो probability आपके पास कितने ways में आ सकती है, this can come in 3 factorial ways, इसको हम 3 factorial से multiply कर देंगे, and that's going to give us the final result. Okay, let's evaluate this. 3 into 5 into 7 into 6 divided by 15 divided by 14 and 13. That gives me 3 over 13, or in decimals, that is 0.2308. That's our final result here. ठीक है? This is one way to do it. आप इसको combinations use करके भी कर सकते हैं. That you might find that easier in such cases जहाँ पे वो इतने सारे different possibilities बन सकती हैं. क्या कर सकते हैं? आपको कितनी choose करनी है? Total number of cases कितने हैं? So let me show that method to you as well. Let me do that here. अच्छा, so another possibility could be, आप देखें total number of ways कितने बन सकते हैं आपके 3 chocolates choose करने के. You got 15 chocolates in total. 15 में से आपको कितनी choose करनी है? 3 choose करनी है. So total number of ways कितने हो गए? Without any restrictions, that is 15C3. अब उसमें condition क्या लगा दिया इसने? Condition ये है कि the 3 chocolates have different colors. So basically, एक चॉकलेट लेमन वाली में से चूज करनी है, एक ऑरेंज वाले में से चूज करनी है, एक आपको स्ट्रॉबेरी वाले में से चूज करनी है, राइट? सो टोटल नंबर ऑफ वेज where we've got 3 different colors. What's that? That's 3C1 into 5C1 into 7C1. तो probability क्या आ जाएगी आपके पास? Probability आ जाएगी 3C1 into 5C1 and 7C1 divided by 15C3. And that's another way to think about this. A lot of people find this easier because इसमें आपको बहुत ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं पड़ रहा. Combinations का concept अगर आपको clear है, this is going to give you the same result. 3 into 5 into 7 divided by 15 C3, and that's 3 over 13 again, which is 0.2308. ठीक है? Okay, let's move on. Find the probability, so that's part E. बहुत सारे parts हो गए इस question के. Find the probability that at least 2 of Petra's 3 chocolates have strawberry flavor, given that none of them has orange flavor. Now, what does this keyword tell you? This is a conditional probability. So we are finding some probability given something. Conditional probability find करनी है. Conditional probability का formula क्या होता है? Let me write that here. Probability of A given B, that is equal to probability of A intersection B, A and B, divided by probability of B. ये आपको याद होना चाहिए, ठीक है? अब यहाँ पे क्या है? Given क्या है? Given is that none of them has orange flavor. तो denominator आपका क्या होएगा? That none of them has orange flavor. ये आपका denominator होएगा. So let me write that down here like this in that form. We want at least 2 orange. Sorry, at least 2 strawberry. Given that there are none orange, कोई भी orange नहीं है. What is this probability going to be? It's going to be intersection of at least 2 orange, sorry, at least 2 strawberry. ये condition भी आया ऊपर, and none orange. ये दोनों चीजें एक साथ आ रही हैं, divided by probability of none being orange. ये आपने बेसिकली फॉर्मूला यूज करना। अब इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटीज कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेंगी, या आपके पास क्या आती है? अच्छा, नन ऑरेंज तो हमने यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट किया था, probability that none of Petra's 3 chocolates are orange. We know that probability, that's 0.2637. ये हमने already denominated हमने किया हुआ calculate, right? So probability that none are orange, we have that from a previous part, that was 0.2637. 2637, yeah. So that was what we calculated earlier in another part. Okay. अब हमें क्या करना है, ये दो conditions meet करवानी है इकट्ठे, at least 2 strawberry and none orange. Okay, ये दोनों conditions meet होनी चाहिए. Now, how do we think about this? Let me write down the total chocolates that we had. We had some lemon. Lemon कितनी आ रही थी हमारे पास? Lemon were 5. No, lemon were 3. There were 5 orange and 7 lemon. ये हमारे पास 3 cases बन रहे थे, ठीक है? Now, what do we want? We want at least 2 strawberry. अच्छा नहीं, sorry, मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ गलत लिख दिया है. 7 क्या थे? 7 were strawberry. So this should have been L here. What do we want now? At least 2 strawberry and none orange. 2 strawberries के साथ आपका एक और combination बन सकता है. अब इसका भी आसान तरीका उसी तरह होगा, आप combinations वाले method use कर लें. That's going to be much easier. Let's do it that way. That's going to be much quicker and easier to think of. आपके पास ये total number of chocolates हैं. What do you want? You want none orange. तो orange तो आपको 0 select करनी है. ये तो 0 होना चाहिए. Out of those 3, 2 have to be at least strawberry. So you've got 2 here, and then if that's 2, total 3 करने के लिए lemon आपके 1 हो गई. एक कैसे हो गया आपके पास? Orange तो 0 रहेगा, और एक केस क्या हो सकता है फिर? We can have 3 strawberry and 0 lemon. These are the only 2 possible cases that you've got. ठीक है, strawberry आप 2 से कम कर नहीं सकते हो, वो condition है यहाँ पे. It has to be at least 2 strawberry. और फिर उसके साथ आपके पास ये 2 cases बन गए. एक तो ये 2 strawberry हो सकती हैं, 1 lemon, या फिर 3 strawberry with 0 lemon. ये 2 आपके पास cases बन गए, ठीक है? अच्छा, now let's evaluate कि इस पे हमारे पास ये कितने cases बनते हैं. ये क्या बनेगा? 3C1 into 5C0, that's just 1, into 7C2. And the second one is 3C0 into 5C0 into 7C3. ये आपके पास वो cases आ गए जिनमें आपकी condition meet होती है, ठीक है? Let's evaluate this. 3 into 1 into 7C2, 7C2 into 3, that's 63. And the second case is giving me 1 into 1 into 7C3. 7C3 is 35. ये आपके पास cases आ गए जहाँ पे आपके condition meet होती है. इनका sum क्या बन गया हमारे पास? 98. Okay, so you've got 98 possibilities. 98 possibilities जहाँ पे condition meet होती है, ठीक है? Now let's use this here instead of using the earlier probability. Total cases कितने बन गए? ये हमने नीचे वाला कर दिया with condition. ये वो हो गया. Total cases कितने बने without any condition? Total ways without any restriction. What's that? आपको क्या करना है? नन ऑरेंज, नन ऑरेंज की प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या है? नन ऑरेंज के नंबर ऑफ केसेस कितने बन रहे हैं आपके पास? नन ऑफ देम बीइंग ऑरेंज. You've got 15 chocolates in total. If you want none of them to be orange, what that means is you have 5C0 ऑरेंज वाले में से कुछ भी सेलेक्ट नहीं किया और बाकी 10 में से you select 3. And that's going to give you the total number of cases. यहाँ से total number of cases आ गए. What does this turn out to be? 10C3. ये evaluate कर लें. This is 120. Probability अब क्या हो जाएगी? Probability is going to be 98 over 120. And that's going to give you something. 49 over 60, or in decimals, that is 0.8167. That's the probability. That's what we're looking for. इस तरह की problems के अंदर combinations is much easier to think of. All right, so that was question number 6, part E. And that's it. So that completes our paper. This was March 2022, paper 5, variant 2. We're done with this. ये हमें करना था आज. This is March 2022 paper, जो अभी recently हुआ है. Now in the next session that we've got tomorrow, we are going to do March 2022 paper 1 inshallah. Okay, so that's what we're doing tomorrow. I'll see you again at the same time around 10:45. So we normally start our class between 10:45 and 11, sometime between this. So kal hum inshallah iska paper 1 kar rahe hoge. All right, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to end this here. I'll see you again tomorrow inshallah. Allah Hafiz.